expecting a different result. We all know what happened to the overhyped Alliance of American Football back in 2019, and then there was the XFL reboot last year. So why would the USFL announce it's coming back 36 years after ceasing operations? Einstein's answer would be insanity, and I'd second the professor's theory with the added hint of misguided greed. Everyone wants to piggyback on the seemingly insatiable appetite for NFL football, but no matter what Doug Flutie says in his social media teaser, the USFL never was and never will be the equivalent to NFL football. Sure, they can hire a few marquee names, but folks do not want to watch football in the spring. It makes no sense. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
I'm not going very far. It's too uncomfortable. I'm in a hurry. Sometimes I just forget. There's no such thing as a good excuse for not buckling up. You're not only putting yourself at risk of injury or death, it could also cost you lots of money. Cops are writing tickets, so why take the risk? Do the smart thing and start buckling up every trip, day or night. Click it or ticket. It's finally time to get outside, but it's also the time when new or old injuries can start up. You know, that nagging tightness in your hips or those strains in your knee. Maybe it's also the time to start Athletico Physical Therapy. Instead of going to your doctor first, start with physical therapy. With no prescription needed, their team of experts will find the source of your pain and start healing it before it progresses, so you can finally live pain-free.
It all starts at Athletico Physical Therapy. Schedule your free assessment with Athletico.com. No prescription needed in most states.
Shop every team in town, college and pro. Come on, it's time to go.
Rally House has farms that lives in sure to love. Get that big year featuring his favorite Michigan teams, twisted with popular styles.
Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, Spartans, Chippewas, everything Michigan. Rally House, it's your city, your house, it's a Rally House.
Shop our new store and online at rallyhouse.com.
Call Hall Financial first when you're thinking of a new place to call home. We can get you pre-approved same day and connect you with a top realtor in your area. Get pre-approved for your new home today. Call 248-308-5000 or go to davidhallmortgage.com.
Starting Wednesday. The ticket signing bonus returns. Your chance at $1,000 signing bonus 11 times each weekday. Powered by BetQL. Win more and cash in more with the help of BetQL. Download the BetQL app today to learn more. That's BetQL. Now, text or call the ticket using the same number. Ticket text 248-539-9797. Live from the J. Samuelson studio, here's Tony and Jansen.
Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. The White Sox beat the Tigers 4-1. Casey Mize, he got 3 home run solo shots. 2 of them were on bad pitches. He pitched pretty damn well. 6 strikeouts, giving up 5 hits in 7 innings. But like I said, it was 4-1. NBA last night, the Lakers are done. Anthony Davis can only play 5 minutes before his groin acted up again. LeBron had 29. Sounds good, but I believe he's still ineffective for the ankle. So, but the story was Devin Booker, 47 points, 8 of 10 for 3. Suns will move on. They win 113-100. In Portland, the Nuggets over the Trailblazers, 126-115. The Joker and company move on. He had 36. Damian Lillard, 28. He's 38. He's 30 years old now. You know, they can't get anywhere in the playoffs. Maybe it's time for him to get traded somewhere. Maybe give a chance to win. Who knows? Because I don't think they're going to form a super team in Portland. No, with all due respect. Hockey, both games went to overtime. Both road teams win. Bruins over the Islanders, 2-1. Carolina over Tampa, 3-2. Mark Scheifele, 4-game suspension for his hit on Evans in the Montreal-Winnipeg game the other night. We're talking about the defunct teams. You know, what teams do you miss? Because we're getting a little nostalgic here because the USFL will be coming back. We have no idea what teams, what cities. We do know Fox is going to have it. It will be a teams. The turbos were cool. I love the drive. Was my favorite. What's yours? And it doesn't have to be a team that the league failed. It could be a team that just moved. Also, Jim in Clarkston, you're 97.1 The Ticket. Jim.
Hello there.
Hi.
Good morning, Jim. You there? Yes.
Jim.
Hello.
Go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, I just wanted to real quick tell you a story about why I'm so pumped about the USFL coming back. Back when the Panthers were here, I pastored in the area, and we had a little boy in our church that was just an incredible kid. He came from a lot of brokenness. Family was really mixed up, a lot of addiction issues. But one day he comes to me and he says, "Listen, I was wondering if I could invite somebody to come to church with me, this week." I said, "Sure, man, no problem." Well, he's been sneaking in the back of this condo unit, real nice place to play basketball, and he met this guy. And the next week, Sunday, he shows up with this big old handsome guy and introduces me to Bobby Haybear. That guy has impressed me being the classiest dude you ever wanted to meet, who wanted to care about this little broken kid. So I thought to myself, man, if this is what the USFL is about, I'm in, and I'm in today. So that's the story I wanted to share. I hope it's an encouragement, but man, what a class act Bobby Hebert was to that broken little boy.
That is a great story. I didn't heard that before, and he was a really good quarterback. He had some decent years for the Saints too.
He did. And he was with the Saints. He was with the Falcons for a few years. And I did a Make-A-Wish Foundation event in upstate New York. And there was a bunch of guys from Tim Green, former, I think it was the defensive
Syracuse.
from Syracuse, was the one that put all of this together. Bobby Hebert was there. Goldberg was there. Brian Baldinger, Scott Case, the old defensive back. So we would go up there and we would take these kids hunting and fishing. And my first time up there, we're on this little 2-track road, and there's this minivan that's pulled over on the side of the road. We're like, so who could be broken down here? Who would even be here right now? And so we would go up a few days early just to have some fun with the guys. We open up the side door just to check out what's going on, and out falls Bobby Hebert, out falls Goldberg. Goldberg had a broken hand at the time, and Bobby Hebert hops up. Obviously, had a couple of pops at the time, and it was the first time I had ever been around somebody with such a thick Cajun accent. And when he was, fully sober the next morning, I could understand him. We were talking and having a great conversation. At that moment, I had absolutely no idea what he was talking about. I mean, it was all mumbling to me. I couldn't understand a word.
Right.
And all of these other guys that had been around him, they're basically deciphering what he's saying. And we're trying to figure it out. And I was there with a bunch of my Redskin buddies. We had a great weekend. And it was, again, I'm going to go back to a news story that Heather had. Coming up, I think it's a weekend. Next weekend is a free fishing weekend. Take a kid fishing, because we took these kids fishing. And Goldberg we had these rowboats, and I mentioned he had the broken hand, so he would row out, and he was basically rowing in a circle because he couldn't figure
Starting
out how to
route to
get
Inkster
it going.
Road.
But the kids all had such a
In half a mile, turn left onto Lone Pine Road.
Bobby Hebert is that guy. He's an awesome dude.
Wow. Here are some ticket texts. USFL was able to steal NFL players back then because the NFL did not have free agency yet. Switching leagues was the only way a player could. That's something.
This is how they got free agents.
XFL had higher ratings than they supposedly needed. They failed because of COVID. Maybe they would have failed anyway, but COVID sealed the deal. That's true.
Go past this light, then at the next one, turn left.
Online gambling, USFL will have a better chance of sustainability now rather than before. Johnny and Converse. It's true.
It comes down to partnerships. One of them has
At
to
the
be
light,
NFL.
turn left onto Lone Pine Road.
The online app that the AAF was working on for in-game
Right.
gambling, if they can utilize that as well.
is, the best lacrosse player of all time, as they say?
No.
Played football circles. Jim Brown.
Oh, really?
Oh, Jim Brown.
You know what? I think
I've
I've
heard that
that.
he was better in lacrosse than he was in football. And
Yes,
to me,
just no money
you
at that
can
time,
argue
yeah.
he's the greatest football player of all time.
You could argue that.
You could argue
Yeah.
that. All right. Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. The Lions, they might have a little love affair going with somebody. We'll explain next after Tony, 97.1 The Ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
This update is sponsored by Mother Waddle. White Sox hitters would blast 4 solo home runs last night as they toppled the Tigers 4-1 in Chicago. Game 2 of that 4-game weekend series is set to take place tonight. Good pitching matchup in this one. Spencer Turnbull gets the starting nod for the Tigers. Left-hander Dallas Keuchel for the White Sox. According to a recent report commissioned by officials in Michigan, Bo Schembechler was alerted to Dr. Robert Anderson's inappropriate sexual behavior during Anderson's tenure at Michigan. That report also alleges that more than 24 people in the school were notified about Anderson, and no action reportedly was taken against him. Week 2 of off-season team activities wrapped up for the Lions yesterday in Allen Park. All the talk was about a player who wasn't there. Free agent running back Todd Gurley talked with team officials last week. There's offensive coordinator Anthony Lynn on what Gurley could add to the Lions.
Todd is a young man that at one time he was considered one of the best in the game. He has a wealth of experience he can pass along to our young backs. And hopefully he's got some juice left. So if he's alive, we'll figure out a way to use him.
Starting route to 13606 Westwood Street. In 2.9 miles, turn left onto West 14 Mile Road.
Their victories in overtime. In the NBA playoffs, the winners were the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns, who eliminated the defending champion LA Lakers in 6 games. That marks the first time in his career LeBron James has lost in an opening round playoff series. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studios, Tony and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Thank you, Gio. It is a Friday. I'm losing my voice here a little bit. Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. Coming up at 7:35. Our actor-actress series continues. Robert De Niro. This is going to be tough. Paring it down to 4. Wow.
Yes. Which child do you like best?
I know, it's crazy. I went to OTAs yesterday, the last day of OTAs. And some of it was more interesting than the first day, the first week when I was there. I mean, Jared Goff, really, really good. But,
Yeah.
I mean,
There's no pads.
There's 7-on-7s, there's no pads, there's...
Just got to put the caveats.
Exactly.
I understand.
Yes, the great Tim Boyle did not look very good.
The legend, the Green Bay legend.
But yeah, David Cloud might have to maybe back up. But it's kind of cool to see them. But before all that, they had Campbell and offensive coordinator Anthony Lynn and running back coach Deuce Staley had their Zoom press conferences. And because last week, Campbell spoke before word leaked out that Todd Gurley was in the building, so nobody had time to ask, Campbell about Todd Gurley. He was pretty open about the Lions' interest in such Todd Gurley.
Yeah, look, we have interest in Todd. We do, and we're talking with he and his agent, and we do. We have interest in him, but I would say this: just because we have interest in him, that does not affect our feeling and our thoughts on both Swift and Jamal.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you have to realize, and I have no problem with it, because in today's NFL, guys aren't bell cows.
No.
I mean, even if Swift is your number 1 or Williams is the number 1, chances are they're not touching the ball more than 15 times. It's just not the way the league works anymore, and for the most part.
Right, because the expiration date on running backs is so short, you want to try and get as many years and reps out of them as possible, so you're going to spread them out a little bit, you're going to break it up over a couple of different guys, maybe 3 guys, and I think this is another signal. They've admitted it, that it's a rebuild, but this is a 1-year commitment.
Yeah.
You're not going to sign him to a long-term deal.
No.
You're not. I mean, you look at the wide receivers. It's a prove it year. Todd Gurley, and it's not even a prove it year for him. It's just a hey, you're here for a year. You're a gap between us trying to get this running game going and making sure that we don't wear out DeAndre Swift or Jamal Williams. We can have you as another change up. You could be there as a veteran to help these young guys along, especially since they have, it seems like Todd Gurley and DeAndre Swift have a little bit of a kinship there coming from Georgia. You're here to help for a year.
And look, even in Gurley's, last year he averaged 13, carries a game.
Right.
Even he was their number one back for most of the season.
Yes, and that's the NFL, right? You're not. It's a passing league.
Yeah.
You're running backs.
So if he is the third running back, which means he's getting the ball 5
At the next light, turn left.
So that's okay. Now, depending on the price, then I'm sure it's not going to be heavy. And Campbell addressed when this actually might take place.
I think if we can do it sooner than later, we'd like to. But look, we're not, it's not like we're going to set a deadline on it, if you will, Dave. I mean, that's, we do. We have interest in the guy, but that's kind of where it is right now.
It'd be Dave Burkett, but
yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
At the light, turn left onto West 14 Mile Road, then turn right onto Inkster Road.
They're not enamored based on OTAs of their 7th round pick, Jamar Jefferson. I don't know.
No, you can't
bring
tell.
bodies in. If they sign him and he comes in training camp or a preseason game and it's obvious the injury just killed his career, then they cut him.
You let
It's
him
not
go.
that big of a
You
deal.
move on. And you won't know about a 7th round pick until you get into preseason games.
Right. As long as the fan base doesn't expect the Todd Gurley from 2016, so to speak.
Right.
Or 2015, his rookie.
Yeah. That Todd Gurley doesn't exist anymore. And I think Todd Gurley understands that. I think the Lions understand that. The NFL understands that. Which is why there's not a
At the stop sign, turn right onto Inkster Road.
For Todd Gurley.
No.
If they're going to get it done, they want to get it done quick so that they can get everybody in camp. They can learn the playbook. They can, develop the chemistry that you need, the rhythm that you need, the camaraderie you need inside that running back room, inside the offensive team room. All of those things. You want to have all of your components
In 1.4 miles, turn right onto Northwestern Highway.
Jared Goff looked pretty good yesterday. Dan Campbell spoke about Jared Goff, based not on yesterday, but on Wednesday and Tuesday, how he's looked. And the coach loves his quarterback right now.
I don't want to get too far on this right now, but I'll tell you what, yesterday it was impressive. He made some throws yesterday that were just, my gosh, they were outstanding. Pinpoint, accurate throws. He was good on his read. I felt like he had one bad throw yesterday, and it was really more he was late on the throw. But I want to say he made about 5 throws that were just, wow, okay, that's really good. Really good. Just pinpoint, back shoulder, guy running up on the wheel, and his back shoulder right on the ear, or up the seam, or out route to Hawkinson, threw it right by the defender where only he could get it. And he looks like he didn't look that way. He does. He's got a lot of confidence right now, and I think he's getting a good grasp of the offense. And it was impressive.
OTAs.
It is OTAs, yes.
Mini camps next week.
Yes, and that's the next step. That's the next
At the next
progression.
light, turn
we'll
right.
Talk about it in fall camp. There should be nobody in the NFL that is more motivated, more pissed off than Jared Goff.
Pretty much, you're right.
And because, he went to a Super Bowl. He's won playoff games as early as last year. He was traded, and everybody is all talking about Matt Stafford and, the coach and McVay and how they're going to the Super Bowl. That's the final piece to the puzzle. We just had to get rid of Goff. And in that, not only we had to get rid of him, we had to give 2 first-round picks just to get rid of him.
At the light, turn right onto Northwestern Highway.
Everything possible from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, and even when I'm sleeping, to make sure that I have the best season possible, and I give the middle finger to everybody that has talked poorly about me over the past 2 years.
And there's been tons of people who have.
Absolutely. That's why he's got to be the most motivated, determined individual in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I'm still. improved before.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be out. He doesn't have to be great. He just can't turn the ball over.
Right, and along with that motivation, you got guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown, who was drafted later than he thought.
Right.
He's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder. Rashard Perriman, Tyrell Williams. Now, none
In
of these guys,
6.2 miles,
in terms of
take
wide
exit
receivers,
14C
Amon-Ra
onto
St. Brown,
M39
we're
and
talking
Southfield
about
Freeway.
long-term solutions. But what we're talking about is 2021 and the fact that nobody else wanted them. Though everybody's saying that they're the worst wide receiving core in the NFL, Jared Goff can't get it done. That is, you hear that enough, and it continues to motivate you. You have those little articles that you put up in your locker, so you don't lose sight, you don't lose motivation when times get tough. That's what these guys are thinking about and what's driving them ultimately right now.
I saw something interesting yesterday. ESPN, Bill Barnwell does a really good job of getting into details about teams. Pretty highly respected on ESPN.com. Not a guy for like major hot takes, so to speak. They had a series basically rating the off seasons. You know, ranking the 16 worst NFL off seasons of 2021. Which teams struggled and didn't improve? See, like the worst off season he has is the Raiders at 32. So he doesn't have the whole league right now because he does it in 2 parts. But down on the bad list at number 27 is the Los Angeles Rams. Although they thought going right was acquiring Matthew Stafford, although the price was steep. Down at 25 is Detroit Lions. And here's what he had to say. When right, the Lions committed to a new plan, mostly after the attrition era. Brad Holmes sold high on Stafford, getting 2 first-rounders and Goff in return from Los Angeles. The best way to start a rebuild is to add extra first-round picks. While we're expecting those picks to land in the 20s, Houston's trade for Deshaun Watson, Laramie Tunsil, a reminder that future first-rounders can land just about anywhere. So you never know exactly. We talked about this before.
Yeah.
There's injuries, who's the Rams falter. Talked about the Lions had 4 picks in the first 3 rounds. Used 3 of those 4 on linemen, including Penny Sewell. They also picked up the blockers. Got Oriel Quara signed. What went wrong? So I just like finding it.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
Lions let Kenny Galladay leave. Although they'll get a 3rd-round compensatory pick in 2022. One of the worst receivers in the NFL as a result. They also cost themselves a late-round comp pick by center Jamal Williams. Just wanted Todd Gurley from going down back is not a position that this rebuilding needs to make a priority. Collins' work on draft day wasn't as inspiring as his first, which was Sewell. He reportedly turned down offers to move down from number 7, or his first move with the Stafford trade, and then tried to move up in the 2nd round before landing the player he wanted, which was Levi Onwuzurike. Yes. Onwuzurike. Without having to sacrifice picks, I love Sewell's prospect, but the Lions are not 1 player away from being a contender, and there were plenty of other valuable linemen in the first round, so we thought they should have traded down, gotten more picks, and getting them an offensive lineman later.
One man's opinion.
What they could have done differently. I like the idea of buying low on Goff. The former first overall pick wasn't as good as people suggested during the peak of the Sean McVay years in LA. He's better than his general public perception is and was in 2021. The Rams talked themselves into believing Goff was the player they wanted him to be, paying an exorbitant fee to get rid of him. The Lions reconstructed Goff's deal after he arrived, but should they have eaten some of his remaining salary and moved the veteran on for more draft picks? If they had eaten $10 million, they could have traded him in 4 years at $94 million on his deal, including just $13 million remaining guarantees after the season. See, I don't think he says they should have traded Goff and then get like another pick and then got James Winston or something like that. Here's my question. I don't think anybody was going to take Jerry Lynn.
No.
So I think he's wrong.
I think he's wrong on that. I think what could possibly happen is that Jared Goff has a decent year, and you can trade him after this year for draft picks. But when he brings up Jameis Winston, I'd rather have Jared Goff than Jameis Winston.
So would I.
And
But it's I'd have James Winston in the second pick.
and a 2nd-round pick, I don't think so.
All right, Heather has news coming up next.
In 2 miles, take exit 14C onto M39 and Southfield
down in
Freeway.
Michigan, but you guys, there is a new surge on its way. So I'm going to tell you what that is.
All right, 97.1 the ticket.
97.1 on ticket. Traffic.
From the Dudleys,
onto Schoolcraft Avenue.
Bourbon Black Pepper Smokehouse Chicken is back. Peppered and kissed with our bourbon blends. Only at
At the
Church's,
light, turn
only
right
$5.
onto Schoolcraft Avenue.
Bringing that down home plate. Offer valid at participating locations.
Did you know there's more than one Las Vegas? There's the Strip with families on vacation and questionable odds. Then there's downtown Vegas, the original gambling and entertainment mecca. That's where you'll find the D Las Vegas. Book your stay today at thed.com. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
Better bets, bet smarter,
In
and
three
Visa
quarters of a
Boost
mile,
today.
turn left
Download
onto
the
Westwood
BetQL
Street.
app today to better your chances.
Time for news on this Friday. Here's Heather.
All right, I just want to remind people, because not everyone was listening early in the morning, that today is a very important day.
Oh, yes.
It's National Donut Day.
Yes.
All right, so if you didn't hear, go get yourself a free donut. Krispy Kreme is giving away free donuts. You don't need to make any purchase. You just roll up and get a free donut. Dunkin' has free donuts as well. You just have to buy any drink. And I'm sure there's other
Go past
donut
this
shops that
light.
have some deals
Then at
going
the
on
next
as well.
one,
And
turn
this is a day
left.
for everyone, because only 1% of Americans hate donuts. So really, almost everybody loves donuts, and the average person eats 31 donuts a year, which that's
That's it?
kind of a lot. Oh,
The average person.
At the light, turn left onto Westwood Street. Then the destination is on your left.
Right, it's like,
that's about 2 or 3 a month.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's,
What a week.
yeah, well, when
John,
you
that's
have
a
one.
lot.
right, if you have like, if there was a box here, okay,
Yeah.
I'd have more than two.
Right. So that's the thing is like when you if you have one, say twice a
More
month.
than
Turn left
2?
onto Minnox Street.
Absolutely.
Then turn left.
That's the thing. Honestly, Krispy Kreme
Turn left onto Auburn Street.
give
Then
a
turn
free
left.
donut every day because you can't eat
Turn
just
right
the
onto
one.
Plainview Avenue.
As soon
Then
as you
turn
eat
right.
one, you crave another one, and then you crave another
Proceed to the
one. It's just so addicting.
Yes, it is. They're very
You can eat just one.
Proceed to the
You
route.
should be able to eat just one.
You should. That's not the question. You should be able to do a lot of things. Sure, I should be able to lose 40 pounds,
Then
but
turn
it's not
right
going
onto
to
Kendall
happen.
Street.
It's like potato chips, can't eat just one.
Proceed to the route.
Yeah, that's different though.
No, it's
Potato
not.
chips and a donut.
Proceed to the
For
route.
sure, because a
Oh,
donut
no.
is large, it's more filling.
It's
whereas
yummy,
potato
it's
chips are just a little
glorious.
chip.
Tastes better. Give me a donut over a chip any day.
Proceed to the route.
Give me 2 donuts over 1.
So Vanessa Bryant has some beef going on with Nike right now. So a shoe that she designed with
Turn
the
left
company
onto West Davison Street.
appears to have been
Then turn
released
left onto
without her
Westwood Street.
approval. So she's not very happy at all. She made this post on her Instagram account, and she called out Nike. So the shoe she created was called the Mamacita, and it was produced without authorization, and it was acquired by a third party. And the shoe was supposed to be released as a tribute to her daughter, Gianna. So it was a shoe she designed, very special to her, and all proceeds
Turn left
were
onto
supposed
Westwood
to go
Street. Then the
and
destination
benefit
is on your
the
right.
Mamba Mamacita Sports Foundation. However, she says that she didn't re-sign a Nike contract, and she decided not to sell the shoe. So she's upset that they've been released, and she ended her post by saying, "I hope these shoes did not get sold." So most likely, unfortunately, they probably did. If they were posted
The
somewhere by a
destination is
third
on your
party for
right.
sale, somebody
13606
probably
Westwood
bought.
Street.
For a lot of money, too.
Yeah,
Arrived.
exactly, without a doubt. All right, so the COVID surge here in Michigan has really slowed dramatically, which is a great sign